Jordan, welcome back to the show, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Congratulations are in order. I would guess right now it's probably just starting to sink in, and you're really starting to enjoy winning a gold medal at the World Juniors last night.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a long kind of a day today. Whether we're just flying home from Ottawa, but now that you're kind of in and you're hanging out with your old teammates, it's kind of just sinking in a bit.
Tell us what the night last night was like. At what point in the game? I mean, I guess when you put it in the empty net there to go up 4-1, you guys are all probably, you take a minute to realize that you guys are going to win it.
Yeah, you know what? As soon as they kind of scored their first goal there and made it 3-1, we were a little scared. But as soon as we got that empty netter, it felt good. I mean, we had a minute to breathe and kind of count it down. So
I don't think it would be an overstatement to call it probably the greatest moment of your hockey career right now. I mean, I guess when you take the World Junior gold medal now and then take being drafted in the first round of the NHL, they're probably pretty close. It's been a good 6 months for you, I guess, that way.
Yeah, you know what? It's been awesome. You know what? The World Juniors was incredible. I mean, for me, my first World Juniors, to have it in my home country in Ottawa. I mean, the fans were great, and to have this caliber of World Juniors, whether it was coming back from the USA or coming back from Russia, or even in that gold medal game, it was incredible.
Yeah, we were talking in the first segment tonight. We'll do some open line later about how Canada always seems to win this thing. Again, it's the second time in 15 years that you guys have rattled off 5 straight victories in this tournament, but to say it was easy, I think would be, a complete miscategorization of it. You guys did win again, but in a couple of those games, you had a heck of a time.
Yeah, especially, USA getting down 3 early, and Johnny burying a couple, and I buried the one and tied it up, and we seemed to battle back from there. And then obviously the Russia game, them scoring with 2 minutes left, and us having to bear down and find the net with 5 seconds left. It was pretty incredible. And even in the final, we killed. I don't know. I'm not sure. It was probably 7 or 8 penalties in the second period to try and keep them off the scoreboard.
What did you make of that Swedish goalie in the final there? He could go to the Olympics, and he might one day, but it might be in the diving category. He might be going to the Summer Olympics.
You know what? We hadn't even spoken about, getting in his face or anything like that. It just kind of seemed that, we were driving the net hard, and, every time we kind of tapped him, it seemed like we hammered him. But, he's a good goalie, though. He, obviously, his numbers speak for himself, so.
Well, you got a few past them, enough to win the gold medal anyway. That's all that matters, right? 8:21 here. Jordan Eberle's joining us on Inside Sports. A good tournament for you, Jordan, personally. Third in tournament scoring, I think 13 points, 6 goals, 7 assists in 6 games for Team Canada. Were you really on top of your game? Did you feel on top of your game the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, you know what? I felt great. I think a lot of that goes to I got a lot of opportunity, and on the power play, our power play was unbelievable the whole tournament. I think it was running around 50%, and playing with John Tavares and Cody Hodgson on the power play, and Hodgson and Boychuk on 5-on-5, and you know what? The thing I loved most about it was Pat Quinn was giving me the opportunity to play on the PK lots too. Me and Hodgson were out there a lot on the PK, and I kind of liked that. I kind of had a defensive side to my game.
Certainly don't want to take anything away from your teammates back in Regina, but is it going to be a little bit awkward going back? I mean, you play on the power play with Tavares and Hodgson, and you're clicking at 50%. Now you got to go back to the dub, and again, nothing against those guys, but I don't think your PP's at 50% in Regina, is it?
No, it's not near that. But you know what? The power play kind of format we used in the World Juniors, a lot of it credited to Guy Boucher, our power play specialist, and I'd love to try and sit down with my coaches and kind of explain to them, but obviously it's tough to get the personnel. Everyone, you don't have a John Tavares and Ellis, PK Subban, and Hodgson on every team, so it would be unbelievable to try and set something like that up.
Well, now let's talk about the coaching a little bit, because that to me was one of the stories heading into this tournament. Obviously, Pat Quinn, a real big name, coached and managed a lot of years in the NHL and brought all that experience to the table, and I know you were really excited to play for him, as all the guys were, but the dynamic of a bunch of 17, 18, 19-year-old guys playing for a 65-year-old guy, that's a little bit of an interesting dynamic outside looking in. What was it like for you to have him coaching you?
Well, you know what? I've had him before at the under-18 tournament, and you know, obviously that was a very good experience. And you know, having him again at the World Junior level, it's awesome. Pat's he's an unbelievable coach. It's almost like, I mean, when he talks, everyone listens, and you know, you respect him so much for the guy that he is and what he's done for the game. And obviously, you just try and sit there and you try and let it soak in whatever he says. And I mean, obviously, he's got a ton of knowledge of the game and the guys that he's coached.
Those international referees don't take a whole lot of crap, though, and Pat's always been a pretty vocal coach. Did he, you know, a few times on the bench look like his top was going to blow off?
Yeah, you know what, he loves to get on the ref's case, and you know, I think we kind of enjoy it on the bench. I think we kind of thrive off it, and I mean, sometimes you kind of build off it, and it kind of gets you motivated a bit.
Now, talk to me about the energy level that you guys play with. I mean, clearly motivated in every game, but the one replay that I saw last night, just keeping one eye on the game at the Oilers contest last night, the one replay that I saw that really epitomized the whole energy of the tournament was PK Subban. I don't know what period it was in, but Dustin Tokarski got run, and Subban knew that if he did something, the referee was going to call it, but he was so frustrated by the play and the Swedish guy running your goalie that he literally was jumping up and down in frustration, wanting to go in there and punch the guy right in the jaw. So talk about the level that you guys have to play at and how difficult it is. You know, you couldn't possibly do that for an 82-game season. It's got to be that way just because it's a 5 or 6 game tournament.
Yeah, you know, I think that was kind of one of the things we were working on the whole tournament, was to try and keep our emotions intact. I mean, against the USA, we were trying to get a little out of hand, and I think a lot of that, I mean, the crowd was so unbelievable that, I mean, sometimes you maybe get too excited and you start making bad decisions and taking penalties, and we need to work on that. And I mean, obviously in the USA game, we're trying to keep our emotions intact and try not to take too many penalties. But I mean, when your goal gets run, you get pretty mad. But I think PK realized that we had taken so many penalties in the second, and we couldn't afford another one.
With Jordan Eberle on Inside Sports tonight, take us back to the Russia game, Jordan. You scored 2 goals in regulation there, and then the shootout winner. We heard the final 2 goals there coming into the segment. The first one at the end of regulation, 5 seconds left to tie the game at 5 and get you guys some extra life to try to get to that gold medal game. I talked to Sam Gagner the next day, and he said he was amazed at the composure that you showed with 5 seconds to go, because most guys, when they see that puck and know how little time there is, they're just flinging it on the net. You didn't. You pulled it to your backhand and you put it into the empty cage. What was going through your mind when that puck came to you with 5 seconds to go in that game?
You know what? I think the play happened so quickly that I didn't even realize how much time was on the clock. I mean, now that I go back and I look at the play on video and you see the things that happened, I mean, obviously Ellis keeping the puck in and Johnny throwing that puck on the net. It's incredible that I mean, all this stuff happened like that. But I mean, the play happened so quickly. You're thinking about putting the puck in the net rather than how much time's on the clock.
It's funny to think back to it. You know, you win the gold medal and there's such a high now. When you think back to that game, there was 5 seconds separating you from this great feeling of elation that you have now, and the great feeling of disappointment that could have come if that play didn't happen the way it happened in the last 20 seconds of that game.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, like even them icing the puck and missing the open net.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, obviously, little things like that just, I mean, it's crazy how like I said, little things like that just change the outcome of the game anyways. Just
finally here, Jordan, give us the overall feeling. We always hear how special it is to put on that Team Canada jersey. I know you've done it before, but doing it here on home ice in Ottawa, winning the gold medal with the maple leaf on your sweater, kind of encapsulate the whole experience and what it felt like and what it meant to you.
You know what? It was. I mean, words can't even describe it. I mean, especially when we won that, when we put in the empty netter and we had, I don't know, a minute left there to kill before we won, and it was just unbelievable. The crowd was going nuts the whole minute, and I mean, they definitely didn't die down, and we just kept fighting. And I mean, obviously, like you said, I put the Canada jersey on, but I mean, to do it at the World Junior level, every kid dreams of it, and every kid dreams of winning the gold medal, and I mean, I'd love to do it over again in my hometown next year, but hopefully I'm with the Oilers.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know they were watching, and I know the management team, including Kevin Prendergast, who was out there, was very impressed with it. And how could you not be third in tournament scoring yourself? I don't know if you saw the TV numbers, Jordan. I know it was overwhelming there at Scotiabank Place in Ottawa, but TSN had their highest-rated broadcast night ever. Almost 4 million people across the country watched you guys last night.
Yeah, I know. I've all of Regina watching. It was pretty crazy, actually. Story about the semifinal games. My hometown here, Regina Pats, were playing in Regina, and they had the semifinal game on the big screen while they were playing. And I guess none of the audience was paying attention to the Pats game, just watching our game. And there was a 2-on-1, and nothing really happened, and everyone screamed, and no one knew what was going on on the ice. And they looked up, and I had scored. So it's something I'll always remember. There
was a similar moment Saturday night during that semifinal game against Russia. The Oilers were playing Dallas, and I think the building was about half empty until the Canada-Russia game was over, and then people started coming in to watch the game. Everybody was on the concourse watching you guys on the TV monitors. Jordan, we're out of time, man. Appreciate you coming on. Congratulations again, and enjoy the next couple of days of celebration.
Thank you very much.